Fresh off winning the gold medal recently in Paris, France during the 2024 Summer Olympics, uh, superstar Minnesota Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards took the time to do an interview with the Wall Street Journal, where he talked about various things. But the one thing I wanted to focus on was this particular Q&A that was asked of him, right? And this was the question that was asked of Anthony Edwards. It says, how do you think your generation of basketball is different from older generations? He goes on to say that he didn't watch it back in the day, so he can't speak on it. They say it was tougher back then than it is now, but he don't think anybody had skill back then. Jordan was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe Bryant, they were like, oh my God, but now everybody has skill. And see, I can't disagree with that anymore. I can't disagree with that anymore right there. Look, Anthony Edwards is one of the best players in the league. He is arguably the face of the NBA, but that right there is very ignorant, right? That's very ignorant. And what doesn't help is when you have talking heads that go on TV, like the Stephen A. Smiths, like that Toucan Sam looking individual, Nick Wright, when you got football players talking basketball or whatever, like Keyshawn Johnson, whoever, or Emmanuel Acho, or whoever else. They come on, they spread these lies, they put out this blatant disinformation to prop up whoever they want to prop up at the particular time. That can't be farther from the truth. And the fact that Anthony Edwards, right, and he is a hell of a basketball player, right? But you're dead wrong on this one. In the 80s, forget this, forget back in the 60s and 70s, because they had skilled players back then too. Matter of fact, I am gonna go to that. Back then, back in the 50s, 60s, or whatever, there were less teams. So when there's less teams, that's less opportunity for a player to get on the court, which means you had to be really skilled. You had to blow people away to even get on the roster, let alone start, let alone be an MVP. You had to be the best of the best. So what Anthony Edwards is saying is completely ignorant. Yeah, that was ignorant. That was fucking ignorant. And then you talk about players in Jordan's era. You talk about players in Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan didn't win a championship for like his first 7 years in the league. He couldn't even get past the Detroit Pistons. And before that, he couldn't get past the Boston Celtics. Let's just focus on the players in Jordan era, right? You had Magic, the last player to win a Finals MVP as a rookie. Who's done it? Jordan hasn't done it. Who has came after Magic Johnson that has done it? Nobody has done it. As much as I love Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, top 5 dead or alive, he didn't do it. Matter of fact, Kobe Bryant hardly played his first year. Then, look at the players that came out back then that were skilled. You had Dominique Wilkins, Hakeem Olajuwon. You had Ralph Sampson. Injuries pretty much derailed his career. You had Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, the Chief, Robert Parrish, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Adrian Dantley, Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin, Alex English. You mean to tell me those guys weren't skilled? The mailman, John Stockton. The list goes on and on. Rod Strickland, Patrick Ewing. You mean to tell me these guys weren't skilled? Tim Hardaway, the guy that invented the crossover, he wasn't skilled? See, that's ignorant. That is freaking ignorant. And then another thing, and there's so many names we can go on. We can go on and on and on and on. Reggie Miller, freaking Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, Spud Webb, Muggsy Bogues, Dale Curry. You mean to tell me these guys weren't skilled? But Anthony Edwards didn't watch basketball back in the day, so he wouldn't know. Then if he didn't know, then why did he feel the need to say that? There's so many names that I've forgotten. But that doesn't make them less skilled. They had to be, man, I'm telling you. The way the game was played was different. The way the game was coached was different. The way the game was officiated was different. Guys was playing 5 games in 7 nights. What do you mean that Jordan was the only skilled player back then? Are you crazy? Hey, man, I don't know what kind of drugs you were on when you were out there. Brad Daugherty wasn't a skilled player. Larry Nance wasn't a skilled player. Are you serious, Anthony Edwards? You can't be serious right now. Like I said, we could go on and on and on of the many players that have donned an NBA uniform that made significant contributions to this team. Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler, right? Clyde the Glide. You had guys jumping from the free throw line back in the 80s in slam dunk contests. So what the fuck do you mean these players weren't skilled? Dudes is jumping from the free throw line, god damn it! You mean to tell me these players weren't skilled? Did the 92 Dream Team tell you something? With the Admiral David Robinson, the greatest collection of individual basketball players that came together on one team. That team will never be touched. That is the standard bearer of team basketball. There ain't no team, and I mean absolutely no team, that can measure up to the Dream Team of 92. The fuck you mean? These teams, these players weren't skilled back then. Are you crazy? To which the great Magic Johnson himself had to come out and say something about it. Now, Magic Johnson has won on every level. Would it be high school, college, the pros, winning gold medals? Magic Johnson has done it all in his illustrious career. And I hear these dumbass, ignorant motherfuckers on here disrespecting Magic Johnson, talk about, how he would be a bum. How the fuck do you know? You got guys that's playing right now that's not that good, that y'all be propping up. And y'all want to tell me and run your mother over Magic Johnson? Not on my watch. Not on my motherfucking watch. You're not going to run your mouth off about Magic Johnson or whatever like that. Talk about Magic Johnson. Are you crazy? The way this man was distributing the ball, a 3-time league MVP, 5-time world champion. That guy's a bum? Really? All-Star game MVP? What hasn't Magic Johnson done that your favorite player couldn't do right now? Magic Johnson has done it all in this league. He is the creme de la creme when it comes to basketball. Michael Jordan is the creme de la creme of basketball. Wherever you put him at top 10, top 5, top 15. I don't even give a fuck. But when you talk about Magic, Michael, Kareem, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Larry Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, whoever else, right? When you talk about these individuals, they are the creme de la creme when it comes to NBA basketball. They are basketball lore. They are basketball royalty. Anthony Edwards, you are not there yet. There's levels to this. You have not won anything. You played at Georgia. You sure as hell didn't win anything in college. I can't speak on the high school stuff because I really don't know his high school basketball, so I'm really not going to speak on that. But he didn't win anything in college. You haven't won anything in the NBA. What do you mean that Jordan was the only skilled player? Jordan himself is not going to tell you no shit like that. So the great Magic Johnson, yeah, he is a great player. He is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the icons on the LA Lakers. Now we can go. Now, as much as I love Kobe Bryant, and man, I love Kobe Bryant to death. But the only reason I got Magic over Kobe Bryant is the fact that Magic won Finals MVP as a rookie. Now, what other players done it since? I don't care who get mad. I don't care who disagree. We just gonna have to agree to disagree. I don't care who get mad. Who's saying that? Oh man, LBU know what you talk about. Fuck y'all. You don't like it? That is too damn bad. I said what I said, and I ain't taking nothing back. And I said I love Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, top 5 dead or alive, in my opinion. But I got Magic slightly above him. Sorry. But then again, I'm not sorry. Because Magic Johnson came up with that goddamn flamethrower, man. I swear to God, he came up with that flamethrower. Appreciate everybody for being up here this morning. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, share this video, and support the channel. There's the Cash App, there's the PayPal. Any and all donations are accepted and appreciated. And once again, I thank everybody for making my channel as successful as it is now. We're only going to continue to grow and get better as a group. So, I want y'all to see what Magic Johnson came out with, because it was the ether to in all worlds. So this is what Magic Johnson had to say when it comes to Anthony Edwards inserting his foot in his mouth. I never respond to a guy who's never won a championship. He didn't win the college championship. He don't even know if he won a high school championship. That's the ether for your ass right there. And what that's going to do coming into the season, there's going to be immense pressure on Anthony Edwards to build off what they had. The team just came off a Western Conference Finals appearance where they lost to the Dallas Mavs. It's going to be even more pressure on Anthony Edwards to take the next step. Because you can't go into the season getting eliminated in the first round or in the second round. You got to, NBA Finals is your thing, buddy. NBA Finals is your thing. You got to go out there and handle your motherfucking business. Right? Coming to the season, Anthony Edwards need to go in there and he need to win the championship. Now, of course, he going to come out and say that, well, that's not the goal right now. What the fuck do you mean that? Well, if winning a championship and building a legacy ain't the goal, then what are you doing? Why are you playing? Because, see, at some point, it got to be more about the checks that you collect. It got to be more about the endorsement deals you get. It got to be more about it got to be more than just, cars, clothes, and hoes. If you're not playing to win a championship, then why are you playing? That is the ether that ends all worlds right there. And Magic Johnson shouldn't have to respond. Why? You didn't hear, you ever heard Jordan come out say anything? All these greats that are that Anthony Edwards is speaking of right now, the true greats, you ever heard them say anything? Now the media is going to try to push this thing the way, they're going to try to get a response on some of the legends or whatever like that, but these legends don't feel the need to say anything. Why? What do they have to prove? They've already done it. He got yet to do it. He's got to prove it. Anthony Edwards got to prove that he is good as advertised. The Adidas deals, being the unquestioned face of the Minnesota Timberwolves, arguably the face of the league. He got to go out there and get it done. You don't think these great players back then weren't immune to criticism, weren't immune to the scrutiny? With one bad night, these fickle fans and these fickle media members would turn on you like a goddamn pancake on a skillet. So yeah, much I like Anthony Edwards, and I think he is a beast, right? Congratulations on winning the gold medal and all that. But what you said about the players back in the day, that's disrespectful. That was highly disrespectful. And that just needs to be said. So, you guys let me know what y'all think about this, man. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony Edwards, man, that motherfucker way out of line for that shit, man. Anyway, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button. Share these videos on your social media platforms. Last but definitely not least, shouts out to the LDBC, Lions Den basketball community. This your man. Scream at me. Oh!